We're going to look in this video about the considerations about where to put our holes in our joists, which are either above our head or below our feet. In order to do so, we need to know the span or the length of the joist as well as the width of the joist. I've already measured the length. The length is 3 meters and the width is 10 centimeters or 100 millimeters. Those will be required in order to work out the areas in which I can drill the joist either on the left or right hand sides, and we will see that throughout this video. Having worked out both the length of our joist and the width of our joist, using the IET for guidance, we can now work out the areas in which we can drill holes in the joist and keep it structurally sound, taking the length in centimetres to be 300 centimetres. We multiply it first by 0.25. I'm going to calculate to show you. So 300 multiplied by 0.25, we get 75 centimetres. That will be our first position. Our second position, again, is the length of the joist, 300, multiplied this time by 0.4. 100 multiplied by 0.4, giving us 120 centimetres. This will equate to the area from the end of the joist, either end, we will be able to come in 75 centimetres for our first area, and as far as 120 from the end there. So we give it, from that position there will be 120 centimetres. And this position here to here will be 75 centimetres. Our holes can go anywhere in that area as marked on the joist. I've marked onto the joist the two positions. First position being 75 centimetres away from the surface it's fixed to, and the second one being 120 centimetres away from the surface in which it's fixed to. We calculated them by the length of the span, in this case being 3 metres, multiplied by first of all 0.25 to give 75, and secondly 3 metres multiplied by 0.4 to give us 120 centimetres. We can now look to position our holes within that section. It's not a simple case of drilling anywhere we like in there. We must take into consideration the width of the joist. Our joist width here is 10 centimetres or 100 mil. The problem being there at college is our joists are very small. We should leave 50 mil clearance from the top and 50 mil clearance from the bottom. That's going to be tricky here. Our real world joists are likely to be considerably wider than these ones, but we're going to go through the same process in order to work out where our holes can be positioned within this area. Again, with guidance by the IET, we can now work out the maximum size of hole that we can drill in our joist. That takes the width of the joist, in this case is at 10 centimetres, but I'm going to turn it into millimetres, so I'm going to call that 100 millimetres, and we multiply this one by 0.25 to equal 25 millimetres, being the largest size of hole that I can drill with my joist. That can be using an auger bit, which is, this one is 25 millimetres, and this one, which is a spade bit, which is 16 millimetres. So the largest size of hole that can be drilled in the joist is 25 millimetres. That's the width of the hole, 25 millimetres. I'm now ready to drill my hole in the joist. I've got the centre of my joist positioned, and I'm going to keep it within the zone in which I can drill the joist. 25 mil auger bit, which is the largest size I can drill in this width of joist. And my first hole is drilled. My next hole must be 3 widths apart from the hole that I've drilled. So my hole is here, so from the edge of my hole, I must make sure that I have 3 more widths of these apart. This being 25 millimetre diameter auger bit, meaning I must be 75 mil further over before I can drill my next hole. I've drilled my first 25 millimetre hole. I've now positioned the second mark is where I can drill my next hole. That would be the side of the hole in which I'm going to drill. So that would be the side there with the hole coming this way. Okay, giving me a gap from here to here of 75 mil, which is 3 times the diameter of the hole in which we have drilled. We can continue this process on, drilling a further hole 75 mil apart, and then another one 75 mil apart, and another one 75 mil apart, as long as we stay within the zones of which we've measured in the first part of the video. This could be replicated on the other side of the joist, equidistant, so coming in 75 mil first line, and then coming in for the second line at 120 mil, and then positioning our holes exactly the same as we did for this.